overall, the Wesleyan Connection podcast is going to be a podcast that looks at the breadth of our annual conference and its ministry.
Hello, this is Pastor Terry Goodman, and I want to welcome you to the Wesleyan Connection. This podcast is primarily for the clergy and laity of the Holston Annual Conference. Join with me now as I take a look around the connection and share some of the things happening in the churches of our annual conference.
With this podcast, I want to kick off a very special series of podcasts, which I'm going to call Conversations with a District Superintendent, or I might call it Monday Mornings with the DS. Not sure exactly what title I'll eventually put on the actual podcast, but it dawned on me that my overarching goal for these podcasts is that I would tell the story of the Holston Annual Conference. And I began largely by looking at the annual conference level, talking with people like Carol Wilson and Mike Sluter and various other persons at the Holston Conference office. They have their perspective on what ministry and mission and activity is all about within the bounds of our annual conference. I realized that the next major level down would be the districts. And I sort of thought about the best way to go about this, and I decided that I would begin by asking each district superintendent basically the same set of questions. The first question would be, what is the overall theme or the overall emphasis that your district is pushing forward, so to speak, to help you as a district make disciples for Jesus Christ? After getting the rundown, so to speak, of a bird's eye view of the whole district, I then asked for, can you give me some specific examples of churches within your district and what they are doing to help make disciples of Jesus Christ? The third question then was sort of a transition question because, I'm wanting the district superintendents to reflect upon what it was like to come into the superintendency. And specifically, I'm asking them, what is it that you encountered once you became a district superintendent that you may not have even realized was there while you were still the pastor of a local church? And I'm getting some very interesting answers so far. And then I ended each conversation with the following two questions. The first one being, tell me what the passion is that burns within you. What's the fire in your belly or your heart that keeps you in ministry? And then I pose to them in such a way that this is the most difficult theological question that anyone will ever have asked you. And then I say to them, what's your favorite dessert? I love to see the eyebrows raise and the chuckle that's often elicited from them as they attempt to do that. Overall, the Wesleyan Connection podcast is going to be a podcast that looks at the breadth of our annual conference and its ministries. I've given you quite a lot of information so far about the annual conference level. You've sat in on meetings that the discipleship team has conducted. You've sat in on a meeting of the stewardship team, once I get it up and posted, as well as the Equitable Compensation Commission, once I get it up and posted. You've heard the inner workings, so to speak, of why some of our teams and agencies do the things they do. You've heard from the conference level leaders. With this special series, I think I'm going to call it Monday Mornings with the District Superintendent. I like the sound of that one. And so that means I'm going to post them each Monday morning at 8 a.m. beginning next Monday. Today is just sort of it's just sort of me rambling on a little bit, explaining to you what it is that the Lord is trying to do through me. I'm trying to present a picture, one that perhaps we've never really thought of before. We can read the call, we can talk to a pastor here and there, we can talk to our district superintendent, but nowhere have I ever seen an audio interview. Or actually, seen is the wrong word. Heard would be a more appropriate word. Nowhere have I heard a district superintendent talk about the passion that burns within him or her for ministry. Nowhere have I heard a district superintendent share what it is that his or her district is doing. And so I felt that having them speak in their own words would be something that would be worthwhile for us as an annual conference to hear. And so I'm inviting you back each and every Monday at 8 a.m. to join me for Monday mornings with the district superintendent. Some of them are a little bit shorter than others. Some of them are a little bit longer. Some are more in-depth. It's amazing when you think of districts. At least for me, it was very, I don't know what the right word is, humbling. It was awesome to hear the diversity that exists within the districts of our annual conference. It was tremendous to hear the ministries and missions that are being carried out in the name of Jesus Christ as our districts and the churches of our districts seek to do the thing that they have been called to do, which is transform the world and make disciples of Jesus Christ. I am excited about these series of interviews, and once again, I invite you to join with me beginning next Monday morning at 8 a.m. for the first of those podcasts, Monday Mornings with a District Superintendent. God bless. Have a great day, and I hope that you will be praying for our district superintendents and the bishop. The cabinet is in that time of year when difficult decisions are being made, when parsonage families are nervous and on edge, waiting to hear what the cabinet is going to be telling them about their future ministry. Churches are wondering who their pastor is going to be. And so it's a delicate time of the year, and I encourage you to pray for the men and the women of our cabinet, for Bishop Taylor and the leadership that she provides us as we seek to discern God's will for the leadership of our annual conference at the local church level as the cabinet makes the decisions they will be making. So God bless. Come back here next Monday morning and join me for Monday Mornings with a District Superintendent.
This is Pastor Goodman. Thanks for listening to this edition of the Wesleyan Connection. Be sure to check back often for more podcasts.